Welcome you lot to Maggots Media. My name's Cherson and we're here today to have a little look at just a short autumn margin session. So what do I do differently for this? First and foremost, right down the edge here, it's only like a foot deep. It's really, maybe sort of 14 inches. It's really shallow, and for this time of the year it's really silty, starting to clear. It's definitely not the right time to be fishing in water that shallow. So we've moved about 1.5 meters off the bank into 2 foot of water, and other than that, I keep things pretty much the same, just not overfeeding, setting little traps, and seeing how it goes basically. So hopefully we'll get a few fish feeding down there. I think there's been a few fish moving about, but there's also loads and loads of silvers in here. So we're starting off with F1 sweet ground bait and maggots, essentially, a bunch of dead maggots on the hook. So we'll see how that goes. We've got expanders as well, and if need be I can switch to either hard pellet or something like corn and we can give that a try. So we'll start off with the maggots. Hopefully we don't catch too many small fish. Just a nice simple typical sort of rig really for this kind of fishing. And it does slope away from us a little bit, so I'm not feeding again. Yeah, I have put a bit of ground bait in via pot, so I'll wonk a bit there. Does that mean we're laying over the back of a fish? Yeah, I think we possibly have. It's straightened out now. Oh, I think a big disturbance of the water there, so there's obviously some fish that are coming into that ground bait. I need to dot that float down a little bit, to be honest. With this kind of thing, if it goes, it should be pretty instantaneous. Yeah, a little indication there, but like I said, we've got a bunch of maggots on, so it could just be little fish, or it could be a decent fish, just like that. So as you can see, I'm just guiding it straight out to the deep water and taking my time. There's no rush this time of year, no rush at any time of year, but especially this time of year. So it's F1 to start with. Not quite ready yet. There he comes. Perfect, and that's just what we're after. So we're not always going to be, margin lumps to start with, but we just want to get these fish feeding as best we can here, essentially. Let's just show you that. A couple of pound F1. He's a wily one, he doesn't want to settle down. There we go. So perfect F1, that's what we want for this kind of autumn margin fishing. So obviously we've just had that one fish, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pop it in to the cup. Not too many maggots, but we're going to put a few in there. And then just in this bucket here, I'm just going to put, again, not a lot, about 1/3 of a cup of the F1 sweet dark that we're using. I'm just going to pop that in over where we're fishing. Nice neat pile. So again, a bunch of maggots. There was 4 that time, just so you got that standout hook bait. There we go. So exactly the same, repeat the process and see what response might be. So we're just trying to avoid leaves so we can actually get the rig in the water. Eruption in the water again there, where these fish are obviously coming in and disturbing things a little bit. So I'm hoping by fishing off the bank a little bit in the slightly deeper water, shallow enough for them to come and have a feed and be a bit warmer in this cold day, but hopefully deep enough to keep them coming in, not spook them off too much. There we go, that indication. And we've got lots of snags and stuff down here to the side, so we've got to be a bit careful. And just a bit of hit and hold really. Just take your time. That elastic doing a job for these bigger margin fish, which is great. Wants to come underneath the platform. There we go, perfect margin lumps. Okay, so there we go again. We just get that rig in and down and settled. Little indication there straight away. So when we don't feed like this, it might be that we get, I was going to say maybe we get silver fish, but there we go, look, dink straight away. And we're in again. That's a lovely fish. There we go. Coming in on that ground bait and maggots again. Oh, these fish are cold this time of year. So cold. Right, I am going to, that's 2 fish off that now, so I'm going to feed again. Like I said, only about 1/3 of a cup. Not even that this time, to be honest. Probably 1/4 of a cup. Just enough to keep them coming in. Make sure all that goes in nicely. So I've got about 1.5 inches over depth. Inch and a bit over depth, 1.25 inches. Just because obviously with those fish wafting about, I just don't want to be foul looking, especially this time of year when every bite sort of counts, with it being so cold. So again, we're just waiting for that positive little dink. There we go. Feels a bit F1-ish again, actually. So again, we're just taking the time. So there we go, simple F1 this time. So I'm not going to feed again, obviously we've just had that fish. Okay, it's over the back of something again there. You can get it down to the bottom. Obviously feeding fish. There we go. Just distinguishing between those little liners we get and then the proper bite. There's a few spoils of the water, boils and tail patterns. So they definitely come in. There we are, dink fish on. Just what we want. Taking my time, bringing it round. There is some big carp in here, so you know you've got to be a bit cautious because, especially this time of year, you don't always quite know what you've hooked. Be a bit careful. It's F1 again this time. And again, superb. Another couple of pound in there for autumn session. Autumn margin session, should we say. So same again, I'm not going to feed again this time because it was kept lying it over the back of fish there. So there's obviously some fish still there. Got a bit tongue tied then. So back out we go. Let that rig settle. A little bit longer for the bite that time, but we've got another tail pattern that's just happened, so that's a line bite. Nope, it's foul up. No, it just swam off with it. I think it took it on the way down then. That was an interesting one. So just having to lean a little bit to pull this fish round. This 501 that I'm using is absolutely perfect for this. It's just as it is. Normal number 3 section, not a short one. So it's such a strong and reliable pull, which is great. Only about £1.25 this one, but again it's late session and I'm out to only £1. This is what counts. Now because that was a bit smaller, I'm actually gonna feed again. Just making sure that we draw in those bigger fish. And this time I'm actually going to put a few micros in as well, just to hold them there. I'm going to do it as a ball because I don't want them really to spread out everywhere. So, what we're going to do, as before, about 20 maggots. Like I said, we're going to do just a golf ball kind of size. Okay, just a golf ball size there of micro pellets. And the same again. I'm going to up it a little bit. I'm going to half a cup this time. Get back in over that spot. And it goes. And then we go again. So even at this time of year, they've come up into that, you know, that 2 foot of water. That little dink there, and we're off again. And this is brilliant fishing for this time of year. It's so cold. Oh, we've got a big wobbly one here. It's a funny shape. Look at that one. Again, another couple of pound. It can completely turn your match around when you're fishing like this, even this time of year. And there was no guarantee today. I've not fished on here for ages. No guarantee this was working. But you know, it's worth a try, and you can see why. Now you've seen how we do it today. I have to keep rolling my sleeves down because it is that cold. I'll get that bait on the bottom again. There's still a few patterns of fish going on. It's like they're coming in round from the side. Like they're coming up to us this way. There's a big sail away there. Little fish. What have we got here? Old roach. It's always the risk you have with maggots. And sometimes when it's quiet like this, it can be because they've not come back in. But equally, it can be that there's something a bit bigger mooching about. So those F1s. There you go. Don't quite come back in as quick. You've got to kind of wait. This feels like an F1 again, actually. There we go. Another couple of pound. And again, at this time of year, can't stress enough, it's just great fishing. It's a big liner again. It's so important that you get that bait on the bottom, and then you get those little dinks like that. Perfect example there, just getting the bait down to the right place. So it's slightly better form this time. Because I want it bigger because it won't keep still for you. There we go. Much better. So same again, I'm not going to feed again at this point. Just trying to get that bait in on the bottom correctly. Oh, there we go, because that's the difference when we do. This one doesn't seem to want to come out the corner. Lovely fish. Sometimes they'll pose and sometimes they won't. There we go. So it's time to take you through what I'm using in terms of rigs for this lovely sort of last hour down the margins in autumn today. First and foremost, the top kit. It's the big bore TKS top kit, so you've just got that extra power. It just means that it's got that strength and everything you need for these down the edge kind of fish, because they're always hard fighting. Obviously puller kit fitted in with that. Elastic, dead straightforward really. We've got the 12 to 14 TKS Hybrid, the yellow, which is perfect for this. It's nice and soft to allow the fish to come out of the swim into the deeper water, but then also, especially with the puller kit, you can just bring the fish under control really quickly. Straight onto the elastic with a little bead over the top. Back shot as always. Main line is optimum power 017. Down end to excuse me. Down end to my my float. It's 0.3 of a gram and it's a Guru kind of mudline slash margin float with a glass stem. I use this on mudline across, but also it's really great for the margins as long as it's no foot sort of more than 2 foot deep. Just a little shot underneath just to help to cock that float, and then down to a 4-inch hook length, and just on the top of that is the rest of the shot, just in a solid bulk. 4-inch hook length is what we're on today, 013 with it being autumn. I'd normally fish in 015 generally speaking for these kind of size fish, but autumn I've just scaled down to the 013 down to a size 16 hook, so really straightforward. There we go, let's go and catch a few more fish, shall we? There we go. So since I took that 3/4 of an inch off the depth, it's just about right now. We're not getting a foul hooks, we're getting slightly more positive indications. It's just about tweaking things as you go, isn't it? See little bites there, but again not positive, just little, oh, just little knocks, as I was about to say, and then absolutely shot under. That's the kind of bite we want. Got 6,000 leaves and one fish. So again, another nice big F1. Couple of pounds. Whew, nearly got away from me that one. I just get the leaves out of the net. And I get a lovely positive bite again. Perfect for what we want. Only just get hold of this one. Uncommon. Cracking fish. So again, an instant response that off that feed, so we'll go without one this time again. So we've had sort of 2 fish per feed, which again is, you know, a little bit different to the summer. Straight back in over it. That's instant berry. Great fishing. Nice mirror this time. Bit of a line of wobble. We don't want that. Just want to find that nice little bunch of maggots. It should be a bit easier for them to pick out when they're really stubborn like they are at this time of year. There we go. That's that positive bite we wanted again. Nice mirror. Need to get that bait down on the bottom, that rig correct. Because you know, you're in autumn now and these fish have been heavily fished for. They kind of expect to be caught down the edge, they're going to be a bit wary. You know, they've wised up to a lot of things and it's just a case of being a bit patient with the ground bait and the maggots. A bit patient, a bit careful, and then hopefully you get chances like that. Another lovely fish. There's still something down there because I've just had a bit of movement. A little bit of indication then. There we go. That's what we were after. There we go. Lovely fish to finish on. I'll pop him back. So there we go, you lovely lot. It's been great to showcase what you can do just with those few little alterations in terms of autumn margin fishing. We've had some great fish. We've only fished for an hour and just down the edge, and it's been absolutely solid as soon as they come in over that ground bait and maggots. So it's just you know, that approach as you go, just be careful with it. Obviously you can then, as it starts, they start to feed, you start to get a picture of what's going on down there. You can feed a little bit more aggressively and keep the fish coming, which is just what we've done today. But don't forget, just find that depth of water. It doesn't always have to be up against a feature right tight in like it does often in the summertime. Autumn, it's more about finding that bit of depth, and obviously making sure you've got that rig set correctly so that you're not, you know, with fish being able to move all the way around your hook bait, you don't want to be hooking those fish, foul hooking those fish all the time. So it's just about making sure you're careful with those particular things, and if you do all those things, you should have a fantastic margin autumn session, just like I've done today, all in that last hour, which has been brilliant. My name's Adam Childerson from Catch Media. It's been really good to bring this to you. Don't forget to like the video, please like and subscribe because it really helps us out. I look forward to seeing you on the bank very soon.